I am not fearless. I know a lot of people come on here and they see me post and they see me share and they think that somehow I have avoided fear altogether, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I am a very fearful person. I'm nervous. I'm shy. I care about what people think of me. I fear criticism and I fear failure, and I fear, messing up in a video. I fear disappointing people. I have a lot of fears and anxieties and trepidations when it comes to doing anything new, different, anything that is vulnerable. Anything that requires me to do something big or different brings about fear. And I think a lot of people are waiting until they feel fearless to do something, but that time will never come. There will never be a point where you are just void of fear altogether. Once you overcome one fear, then another fear will be there waiting for you again. And so a lot of us are trying to get rid of our fears, but a fear is a human response to something big, different, or new. I don't think that we should get rid of our fears more than we should listen to them and listen to what they're saying to us. When I fear what other people will think of me, what I'm really saying is that I care about what people think. When I fear failure, what I'm really saying is that I fear that this will not turn out how I really want it to turn out. And more than that, I fear what that means about me if it doesn't happen the way that I want it to happen. And so when we remove this need to remove fear, then we can actually start living. The thing is that fear is not a bad feeling. Fear is not a bad thing. Fear is not something we should get rid of. If anything, fear is telling us that it wants to keep us safe. Fear doesn't want us to feel pain. So that's why we're afraid of touching hot irons or hot stoves, or we're afraid to run in traffic. We're afraid of hurting someone else's feelings because we care about them. Fear is well-wishing. Fear has its place, but its place should not be in running our lives. I did a live not too long ago talking about fear and perfectionism and how those things keep us bound and keep us from creating the things we want to create in the world or being the people we want to be in the world, and how to really overcome fear. Fear is not something that we should try to get rid of, but we have to work through it. And I'm sorry, the only way to get over your fear is to work through it. There is no over, there is no under, there is no, circumventing and trying to figure out a different way. You have to go through your fear in order to become brave. Brave does not require you to be fearless. Brave is not the absence of fear. Bravery is doing something in spite of the fear. So you can acknowledge your fears. There is space and a place to be honest about how you feel about something. But you showing up and doing the thing anyway, that is what makes you brave. And that is all that I do. That is all that I do every single day, is just try to take one small brave step a day. Do one small brave thing a day to prove to myself that I can do scary things. And the truth is, so can you. Look over your life right now. Think about all the things that you've ever done in your life that you've been afraid to do in the first place. Riding a roller coaster, having a baby, starting a new job, going to school. You are capable of doing hard and scary things. And you have made decisions to choose your bravery over your fear in more ways than one. But when we approach something new or different or big, then we question ourselves and we question whether or not we can handle it. And the truth is you can handle it. Most of the fears that we have and anxieties that we have don't even come true. It doesn't even happen. Or the thing comes true, but it doesn't mean what we think it means. If I fail, that doesn't mean that I am a failure. It means that I have something to learn from this situation. I have new information I can apply to my next venture. We can change our narrative around fear. It is not a bad thing. It is not something that is meant to bind us and hold us. It is a gift. Fear is a gift, but we have to make sure that we're using it in the right way. And any gift that we're misusing becomes a burden. If someone gives me a can opener and I'm trying to use it to paint a portrait, right? It feels like a burden. I don't have the free range to paint what I really want to paint. So fear is a gift. It's telling us to trust ourselves, right? To trust our gut. When something doesn't feel right, we don't go that way. When people make us feel weird, or when we're afraid to run out in traffic, right? We fear for our lives. It's a gift. It keeps us safe. But if we misuse that gift and misplace it and put it in a place where it doesn't belong, that's when it becomes a burden. And that's when it becomes a barrier to us living our best lives. So what is the answer? What is the answer to becoming fearless? I don't think that we will ever become fearless. And I think that people who are fearless seek help. There are people who literally don't fear for their lives or fear for the lives of other people or think about the feelings of other people because they can't feel it. And when you can't feel that fear, it means that you're not really living. You're a danger to yourself and other people. So thank your fear for trying to keep you safe, but don't misuse your fear. Don't misuse the gift of fear. The next best step is just that, to take the next best step. Take the next step that is scary, that is intimidating, that is hard, you can do hard things. You can do scary things because you have gotten this far. Life in itself is scary. Life in itself is something that we can't predict, that we don't know what the outcomes are going to be, but we live it every single day. Every day there's something to be afraid of, but you are brave enough to handle that fear. So you don't have to be fearless to do hard and big things. You just have to be. You just have to try. And bravery is like a muscle, so that the more that you are brave, the braver you become. I remember being afraid of posting my first YouTube video. I remember worrying about what other people would think about me. I remember being afraid to sing for the first time in front of folks. Again, being worried about what people think about me. And what I realized is that I really enjoy sharing. I really enjoy singing. And I hold on to that thing more than I do the fear of what other people will think. The first thing I ask myself is, do I like it? Did I enjoy this? Was this fun? And if it checks all those boxes, that's enough. What other people think of it is honestly not my business. We talked about that in the Black Girl Creative Collective. Join if you're a Black Girl Creative. We would love to have you. And we talked about this need to seek validation and approval from other people that we have, and how we should check in with ourselves before we ask anybody else if they liked it, if they enjoyed it, right? Because that is enough for us to keep doing the thing. If I'm liking it, if I'm loving it, I'm going to keep doing it despite what my fear tells me. And most of the time, my fears are not going to come true. That's the truth. So the only way to become brave, the only way to become, less fearful, I will say, is by doing the scary things. I'm sorry. There is no quick fix. There is no hack. There is only through. And you don't have to go through it alone. We are here with you. So I celebrate you. I see you. You are brave and you're capable of brave things. Do the scary thing. You can do it. I believe in you. All right? So no, I am not fearless, nor do I have to be. And neither do you. You don't have to be fearless to do big things. If anything, bravery requires fear. So the bigger you feel the fear, the more brave you are at the end of that situation. So go on and live life. Live life with fear. Fear will always be there, but fear is your friend. Fear is trying to keep you safe. But it's up to you to not misuse and abuse that fear. Don't let fear stop you from living your best life and being your best self. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, let me know. Share with someone who needs to hear it. And if you enjoyed this, wonderful. Check out this video. And I will talk to you all on the next one. Bye. Let me roll off.